Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. Today we're going to be doing a blog style video on my very first Airfix model, and I can tell you that this was an absolute chore. I wanted to give a nice gift to my granddad for Christmas, something from the heart, because he used to collect model airplanes and collectible cars and stuff like that, and I thought, what better way to show an appreciation to him, because he hasn't been well lately, than to build and paint an aircraft. So I had this Spitfire Airfix kit, and yeah, I thought perfect. So here is a little sort of blog style video on all the trials and tribulations of building such a thing, and also there are little bits and pieces from the live stream to start with, where I started building it just before Christmas, but it was right up against the wall. I literally started it a couple of days before Christmas, and I only had a few hours in the evenings to do it. So sit back, relax, enjoy. I've cut all the swearing and the F's ups, but yeah, just watch the video and you'll see. But before we get started, a quick little costume change and a little bit of fueling up. Boom, mince pies, perfect. So let's get started, shall we? Well, let's just see what the hell happens. I've got the propeller done. Okay, I'm confident that that is a piece that I can put together without worrying about how I'm painting it. And I've clipped this dude up, the little pilot. Now I have noticed there's some bits on here where the flesh is a bit messy. So, you know, like the mold lines, there's a little excess on it. But it's not an issue, because, you know, I did this hobby in the 90s, in the early noughties, so I'm accustomed to that kind of thing. Can't put these bits together because the seats have to be put inside before you can glue it closed. So where's the instructions? I'm going to do the cockpit bits, and then we'll see how we get on. Because I'm not familiar with it, there is that hesitation. Like, for example, there's a little tab right there. Now, if I wasn't careful, I would have snipped it off thinking it's not part of it. But looking at the picture, the instructions, see, it's there. So there we go. That would have caused problems further along for sure. It's actually really refreshing to do, you know. It feels nice putting something together that's not Warhammer, you know. Okay, so I have just finished the live stream. It was great. We had some fantastic guests on, and with a little bit of time that I had left, I managed to do the pilot and the cockpit bit. So because I want to get it painted up before I put it inside the rest of it, I can't build the rest of it yet. So even though it's dark and probably chilly and damp outside, I'm still going to prime it using the old ghoul grey, because it's a nice neutral colour to start with. And then I will be using the paints that came with this to paint it. And of course I'm going to spray the whole thing white bone, which is like a Wraith bone. It's exactly the same as Wraith bone, but from Colourforge as well, for the rest of this. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright, so it's built and painted, or spray painted. Now I'm following the paint guide in here with the paint pots that come with it, and heck, I'm even going to use the brush that came with it that's already fishtailed, just to push my competency when it comes to new materials and tools. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, but it is pretty much paint by numbers. So they've got a number on each of the colour, it tells you where to put that. Obviously I feel like I need to jazz it up. I'll put a shade on it. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So let's start with the lighter colours first. Okay, so just using those paints, I've done this. It's rough, but I mean, it's not supposed to be pretty anyway. I had to cheat a little bit and use Bungman's Flesh for the flesh, but I watered it down. So it's given it, it's a kind of like a glaze. So it's done the little shading for me. And then I had to touch up the white, so I used the matte white from the Army Painter just to touch up those areas. Again, thinned so that the grey shows through, but not thinned too much that I couldn't cover the areas that I'd done. So yeah, this paint is really weak, but I'm using it in a way that glazes rather than blocks colour up properly, and that way I can get some sort of shading effects going without having to use any shades. Anyways, let's get to building with the rest of this, and then I can actually start painting the whole thing. So this is done, let's get on to that. So fun fact, that Tamiya stuff is not strong enough to hold this stuff together, and that is just about strong enough, and that's the stuff that comes with the kit. You also need to clamp it to hold it together. Also, the bits don't quite fit how they're supposed to. I mean, this is definitely a learning curve, but hey look, at least there's some paint on it, and at this stage I can actually get the other bits clipped out and put together. So let's get to it. Okay, so currently watching Frost of Fists, and they're just going over Alston's video, and I finally put it all together, and I'll tell you what, some of it's alright, some of it just don't fit right. Look at the gap on that. Jeez. So I'm going to use a bit of blue tack to gently cover the cockpit once I've sealed the gap, and then yeah, I will be able to spray it with the white bone from Carforge and start getting it painted. But yeah, it does look cool, apart from the gaps, you know, details are cool.
A few moments later.
I sprayed it a little too close, so we got a bit of texture there. My bad, rookie mistake. But I'm going to not bother with using those paints that came with it, because, well, they're trash. They're not the best, and yeah, they rubbed off really easily. So what I'm going to do is use a mix of Citadel and Army Painter, see what I can get together, whether or not I actually got those colours.
12 o'clock midnight.
Right, so as I said, I'm not going to bother with those paints because they're not that great, except that one was kind of okay for covering the bottom actually. So yeah, that was the 90. Came out a little green, but actually it works. Now for the brown, I went X388, and then I mixed 50-50 Talwhite Ochre on the whole thing. The reason I did it this way is because I find it's a lot easier over the light brown than it is the other way around. So there we go. Now I'm gonna use a nice dark green, and then get on with the details, the blacks and the silvers and stuff. But it's coming along here, and then tidy up any slip ups, because God, look at that. It's absolutely disgraceful. Right, cheerio.
3:28 a.m.
So before I forget, I did the green. Tried to sort of go by the picture art a bit. I used Caliban green, and Lauren green, because I found that was the closest mix to it. It's coming out a bit orangey, but it's more on the brown side colour there, so ignore that. And now I'm just doing decals. I've got my Vallejo Softland fix, and that's everyone snoring next to me because it's ridiculously late. But I wanted to get this done in time, so just a little bit left, and then varnish and job done. And there you have it. There are all the decals added, and then I did the pin wash afterwards because I wanted the decals to sort of meld into the paint work, so you know it didn't look separate or put on top. And then of course I did some grease smudges as well, so all with non-oil, just pin washed, and then a little bit excess around the exhaust of the engine and on the wings as well, the underwings. And yeah, there you go, a couple of evenings, a few hours at a time, and got it done. And I have to say he was very pleasantly surprised and happy with it as well, which is a win. So there you go. It goes to show that you can do it. You can branch out and do different things and still apply those skills that you have. And yeah, apart from the build, which was an absolute pain in the butt, the actual painting side of things was very enjoyable. I actually really enjoyed painting something that wasn't a Warhammer. It was a different scale, and it was a great palette cleanser as well. So I would definitely recommend you guys branch out a bit, try something new, pick up something that piques your interest, and don't be afraid just because it isn't part of your existing collection. Okay, yeah, we all got to watch our pennies and watch what we do, but I think it is worth it now and then if you've got a bit of pocket money left. Just try something. Anyway, enough of waffling. I want to say massive thank you to these beautiful folk for all your support. Thank you to everyone who does subscribe, likes, comments, all that beautiful stuff. Let me know if you ever built an Airfix miniature and which ones you have done as well. And if you want to see more of this, let me know just by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and get in the comments. Okay, join our Discord, and yeah, big loves. Stay safe. I'll see you soon. Peace.